We're here because free speech is under attack. We're here because people are being convinced that socialism works. We're here because people are being judged guilty until proven innocent. We are fighting back with facts. This is not a safe zone, so buckle up, Buttercup. This is the raw, naked truth.
More bad inflation numbers, a potential ban on TikTok, and more. Welcome to the Raw Naked Truth. I'm your host, Eric Lopkin, and here's the news you need to know. The House voted overwhelmingly to approve a bill on Wednesday that would ban TikTok from operating in the U.S. or force a sale, setting the stage for a final showdown in the Senate, where lawmakers signaled a more cautious approach on the legislation. The measure passed 352 to 65, with one member voting present, showing broad bipartisan support for cracking down on the app. The vote moved Congress closer to an unprecedented ban of one of the most popular apps in the U.S., with lawmakers balancing national security worries with concerns about freedom of speech, the impact on TikTok users and creators, and misgivings about interfering with the company's business operations. The short video app has faced scrutiny over the way its algorithm works to select content for users, both on sensitive issues such as teen depression, as well as global debates such as the Israel-Hamas war. U.S. officials say TikTok's China-based ownership potentially gives Beijing a way to collect data on Americans and influence public opinion, driving years of start-and-stop efforts to rein in the app. President Biden has said if this bill gets to his desk, he will sign it. Wholesale prices accelerated at a faster than expected pace in February, another reminder that inflation remains a troublesome issue for the U.S. economy. The Producer Price Index, which measures pipeline costs for raw, intermediate, and finished goods, jumped 0.6% on the month. That was double the 0.3% forecast by economists and comes after a 0.3% increase in January. Excluding food and energy, core PPI accelerated by 0.3% compared to the estimate for a 0.2% increase. A Fulton County judge has quashed 6 counts in the Georgia election interference case against former President Donald Trump and his 18 co-defendants. Judge Scott McAfee said in an order Wednesday that the state failed to allege sufficient detail for 6 counts of solicitation of violation of oath by public officer. The court's concern is less that the state has failed to allege sufficient conduct of the defendants. In fact, it has alleged an abundance. However, the lack of detail concerning an essential legal element is, in the undersigned opinion, fatal, McAfee wrote. As written, these 6 counts contain all the essential elements of the crimes, but fail to allege sufficient detail regarding the nature of their commission, i.e. the underlying felony solicited, the judge continued. Federal criminal defense attorney Caroline Polisi told MSNBC on Wednesday that the prosecution of former President Trump would still be ongoing if Willis was disqualified from it by Fulton County Judge McAfee because of her alleged affair with Nathan Wade, a prosecutor she hired for the case. However, it would sound the death knell for the case, as she said, "I don't know that there are many other prosecutors in the state of Georgia that would want to take on this case." CNN was forced to issue a correction in its reporting this week aimed at discrediting a portion of Republican Alabama Senator Katie Britt's State of the Union rebuttal, in which she included the tragic story about an unnamed sex trafficking victim to emphasize the effects of the ongoing border crisis. That victim of sex trafficking was later identified as Carla Jacinto, who faced immense brutality from the ages of 12 to 16 at the hands of traffickers in Mexico, which Britt detailed in her rebuttal. CNN paraded Jacinto in front of its audience over the weekend with an appearance on the network and in a subsequent story in which it made a number of claims attempting to derail Brit's portrayal of the story. However, those claims ran in stark contrast to past reporting on Jacinto, as well as her own words. Hunter Biden will not attend a House Oversight Committee hearing next week regarding alleged influence peddling and the Biden family's business dealings, his lawyer said in a letter on Wednesday. House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer invited Hunter Biden, Tony Bobulinski, Devin Archer, and Jason Galanis to testify at a public hearing on March 20th at 10 a.m. All four individuals have already testified behind closed doors as part of the impeachment inquiry, but Comer said the public hearing would examine inconsistencies among the witnesses' testimonies in order to get the truth for the American people. Apparently, Hunter Biden does not want to appear with his former business associates as they contradict his story. That's the Raw Naked Truth. You can catch every episode of The Raw Naked Truth at xvadio.com, the Apple Podcast app, Google Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Audible, Amazon Music, and other platforms that respect freedom of speech. We'll see you next time.